I'm not gonna lie. I know I told you guys that I would film again the next morning, but it's literally been 2 days since, well, I guess free. Good God. I don't know how many days it's been. I'm still in the same sweatshirt because when I came back, I was just like, yeah, it's one of my comfort sweatshirts right now. But we're in my new location. I was not new. It's not necessarily new. It's just a different location. Don't mind these clothes here. I thought that, so when I filmed, it was like almost 2 in the morning, on technically Saturday morning, but Friday night, whatever you want to say. It is Monday at, honestly, I don't know what time it is. I have no idea what time it is. It's probably, it was like after 2. It was like 2:15 when I came out of my room a few minutes ago. But, so it's like 2 p.m., sometime after 2, on Monday. And I got back last night, yesterday at like, what time did I get back? I think I got back at 6. It was like close to 7 o'clock. But, yeah, but then I was like kind of out. Me and my aunt and her boyfriend and my grandma, we all went to go get, like, we had to go take the rental car back. And so I went with my grandma so we could take them. Then we went to ran a couple errands. Then we went to go get food too. So they got Chinese. I didn't want anything because I wasn't really that hungry. And so then we came back. Well, then as soon as I got back here, I have to leave out again because I had to go pick up Tayshawn from work. So I picked him up. Then we came back home, and then I was finally in for the night. But yeah, I didn't film or pick up the camera or really do anything after I came back home. I was just like, I'm just chilling. So yeah, I've been up for a while now. I've been up since 9ish, because Taylor had to be at work at 10, so I had to take him to work today, and he gets off in a couple of hours. So I thought that with the time that I have, one, I'm going to fold this giant load of clothes that I have, but also I'm going to finish talking about, like, I'm gonna pick up where I left off, basically. So yeah, fold clothes with me and like clean up with me, and we'll catch up a little more. So yeah, let's get started. So I think I was telling Tayshawn that I couldn't remember exactly where I left off because I meant to watch the clip before I started this. But you know what? I was just like, let's just jump right into it. But I'm pretty positive that where I left off was me talking about the incident that happened at my job in February, at the end of February going into March. Yeah, I told my brother, I was like, I don't want to talk about the incident because I don't want to go into detail about the incident because, one, I don't even know if I can, and two, there's just a lot of people involved in that situation, and I really don't want to, like, even though I have a side, even though I have a side of the story and, I have my experience, it still is a pretty, hard, thing to, kind of talk about a little bit. But at the same time, there's just so many people that were involved and that I know had been affected by the situation. And I really just don't want to, I don't know, dredge up old, wounds. You know what I mean? In case anybody sees this video that I, work with, or, whatever. Anybody that was there that day, whatever. But I will talk about the healing process and how I was, I guess, able to get through it. Because I kind of always say, or one of the things that I've learned over the last couple of months is that you don't get over stuff. You don't get not you don't get over stuff. You get through stuff. So, you know, I have had to, and that was definitely a situation that like it was definitely something that I was like I had to get through, because that whole situation like changed everything, honestly. I feel like when it happened and I came home after everything, it was just like so surreal. Like to just even think that like I was a part of something like that. I'd never experienced anything like that, and I never thought I would experience anything like that. And the fact that I was even in the same place at the same time as something like that, and I was so close to it too when it happened. Not as close as some others were, but close enough for me. It was just like I feel like my brain chemistry just changed all over, and like I don't know, it definitely like changed. Like I just know for a fact that like I'm never gonna be the same after experiencing something like that. So, yeah. But the day after the incident happened, I was supposed to work, I believe. I think I was supposed to work the next day, but I didn't have to, which I was very grateful to not have to go back to work after that. And so I didn't go back to work. It was kind of crazy because when I got home, I was like very hysterical, very emotional. I was crying a lot, and my family was here to like comfort me. My Tori came, actually left her job with her boss's permission to come be with me because she wasn't supposed to get off until 6. And I was like, I had talked to her a little bit when I was on my way home, but I was like so hysterical and crying. They were all just worried about like me getting home safely because I drove myself home. Like everybody was wondering like, "Oh, do you need to like call someone to come and pick you up?" And I was like, "No, like I can drive myself." And so I did. And when it happened, like when I got home and I was talking to my family, like she just walked in and I was like, "What are you?" Like I turned around and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, I came." And I was like, "But it's not even 6 o'clock yet." Like I was like, I was very like emotional about it because I was like, "Oh, like you left work so you could be here with me." And like, it was very heartwarming to know that like I had someone in my life that would kind of, I don't want to say drop everything, but like she literally left work for me. And I don't know, I know like she's not the first person to do that, but like she's the first person that's like not related to me to do that, you know what I mean? It's just like kind of crazy. But then me and her just kind of like sat on the couch and talked for a bit, and I cried a lot. And it was very it was very I think it was just all just setting in, you know like just the magnitude of the situation, like realizing that like, oh my god, like I was really there to experience something like that. Like that's crazy. We ended up going for a ride, and yeah. And then after we came back from our ride, she ended up spending the night at my house with me. And my grandma actually gave up her bedroom so that we could sleep in there. And my mom was in here. And my grandma's a night owl. She has really bad insomnia, so she doesn't sleep well anyway. So she was just downstairs, like watching TV and just sitting down there. And I remember that night was just like so weird. Like I kind of had a little bit of a hard time falling asleep at first, and then when I finally did, it just like wasn't the best sleep. Like I just felt so restless. And And I remember just kind of being like, okay, like, gosh, sorry I say like so much. It's just my buffer word when I'm trying to think. I just remember tossing and turning quite a bit. And then when I woke up the next morning, I think I woke up at around 9 or so. Like it was close to 9, maybe 10-ish. And Tori had left. I had scooted over in my grandma's bed to where she was sleeping, and my grandma came in and got back in her spot because I was in her spot when she came back, or when I went to bed that night, and literally went back to sleep. Woke up around like 9 or 10 o'clock, and I just remember like waking up, coming in my room, and everybody was gone. Like my brother was either at work, or actually he was not at work. He was here. He had to work later on, and I would end up taking him. And I remember being like, I really don't even want to do that. Like I don't even want to leave my house, but I was like, no, like it'll be okay. Like I can leave the house and like just come back. Like I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to do anything. I could just come, like take him and then come back. So I came in my room, and the first thing that I thought of doing was like, I need to do like normal things. Like I need to keep up with like doing things that feel normal to me, which was like going and doing like my bathroom habits, like brushing my teeth, doing my skincare, all that, and then like coming in here, making my bed, and then after I make my bed, like do my Bible study. Sometimes I like do Bible study first and then make up my bed. It just depends on the vibe and how I'm feeling. But I think it was the other way around. I think I did Bible study first and then went ahead and, uh, made my bed and everything. But I just remember when I was doing Bible study that day, oh my God, it was like, it was so emotional. Like, I was so emotional. And I genuinely, like, could not stop crying, like, for a good minute. Like, I just remember that, like, I was like reading the scripture, and then reading the like what was I reading? I was reading the like devotional of like what the scripture means and all that, and you know getting like the information about the scripture and everything. And I just remember that like I was just crying while I was reading. And I've never done that before, like when I do Bible study, like never. That was like the first time that I think I've cried while I did Bible study. And like I just remember like, um I was like writing my notes and everything, and reading, but I'm like crying while I'm reading. And then it's like, then I start praying and I'm talking to God, and I'm like, explaining like that, like, I know that like you had me there for a reason. Like I was there to I was there for a purpose. Like if you didn't want me there, I know you wouldn't have wanted me there. Like I wouldn't have been there if I wasn't meant to be there at that time. And like I just remember being like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but like I know I can't get through this without you. Like I just I'm gonna get emotional about it, thinking about it. I don't want to do that, but it was very hard, and it continued like that for a couple of days. I I went, and that day was just like really, it was a lot. It was a lot. Over the next couple of days, I like barely didn't want to do anything. I barely did anything. I kind of just stayed in my house for a couple of days, just kind of cooped up in here. The only time I ever went out was if I had to take Tayshawn to work or pick him up from work. And then I remember that it was either Friday or Saturday. I think it was Friday. I had messaged Tori, and I was like, because there was an errand I had to run, and I was like, hey, do you think you could come with me to like run this errand, blah blah blah. She was like, yeah, I got you, like, whatever. Well, we ended up having a talk before we even went to go run the errand, and like we had a phone call, and we talked on the phone, and like had a little debrief of some things going on. And literally during that debrief, when I was talking to her, here I go again, like I started crying, and like it was just a lot. It was so much. Like, haven't I don't think that I had been that emotional in a really long time. Um, I can't even, well, I can tell you. I think like it was kind of weird because like the feeling that I felt during that time was that I felt like the emotions that I was like feeling were very similar to when I had um gone through a really bad breakup back in like 2020, because it was just that nonstop like waking up and just feeling like god, like my life's changed forever, and like, so much different than it was before this happened. And then like on top of that, just like the nonstop crying like every day for like a few days was just like, it was a lot. Like I was crying so much, like I was stressing my own self out because I was like, god, I don't remember ever. It's been a long time since I've been this emotional. Like I've always been a very sensitive person, but at the same time, it's like, okay, like I've known I was sensitive. Yeah, that's normal. But like where like to have it be back to back to back multiple days in a row is just like, whoa, like I haven't done that in a long time. So it was a lot to take in, a lot to process feeling wise, but I know it was necessary. So yeah. So because of the incident, that Friday when I went out with Tori and we went to go run a few errands, and then we also ended up getting some food and just like chilling at the duck pond and whatnot. While we were there, um, before we had even gotten to the duck pond, we were at Walmart, and I had gotten a message from one of our leadership uh, people at work, and she was basically saying that they were offering 2 weeks of paid leave. And so I was like, oh, okay. Like, and at the time, like, when I got that message, like, I kind of, like, my kind of whole demeanor changed because I was like, 2 weeks of paid leave, like, that's a long time. But at the same time, like, do I even deserve to take that time? Like, because my experience, I was very much so feeling like my experience wasn't worth taking 2 weeks, Um, because I don't know. I just felt like, some of my other coworkers, some of the other people that were there when the incident happened, like, they really they really saw it. But me, I just so happened to be down at the end of the same hallway, and I heard everything, but I didn't see everything. So it was just kind of like I didn't even feel like I deserved to take the 2 weeks off. But my friend, my Tori, she basically like kind of summed it up for me, and like ever since she said that, like it's like I really can't see not only the situation any other way, but I also kind of can't see myself any other way now. I had told her about what they were offering, and I told her that, like, I don't even know if I deserve to take the 2 weeks yet. Like I don't even know if I should take it. Like, I don't even feel like I deserve to take it. And she was like, that is like basically saying that that's a crock of crap. And I was like, okay. And she said, you are just now feeling your emotions. Like when it happened, um you were you were able to, like, somehow I had the capability of putting aside my own emotions and feelings so I could be there for the people, for like my friends that actually witnessed what happened, like with their own eyes. And my friend was like, and not only like, she was like, you feel things very strongly, like you're a very, and not only do you feel your own emotions strongly, but you feel others emotions strongly too. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. And she was like, because you feel things so strongly and you feel others emotions very strongly, like you took on their emotions, and like, you took that in and you were like, okay, I need to be here for them. So I'm gonna put, like, somehow I was able to like compartmentalize my own emotions and put them kind of in the back of my mind, like on the back burner, and focus on theirs. So like I was somehow able to be the strength for them. And right now I need to learn how to be the strength for myself. And that kind of changed my whole perspective of not just how I handled the situation, but also I guess I realized that like I handle a lot of situations like that. Um I don't know. I never realized how much, a lot of the time, I'm not feeling, when there's other people involved, like I don't feel my own emotions right away. I usually am taking on other people's emotions, and then I'm like, okay, like I need to not like react or respond, or because somebody's got to be strong in here. And I'm not saying that that made any of my other coworkers like, or that made it anybody else that was there like weak or anything like that. No, it was just like I didn't, I guess it was just like what was happening was so one, it happened so fast. Two, it just, it was so much at one time to just take in, and everybody was reacting and everybody was feeling it. And me, I was just like, okay, like I'm feeling it too, but like I need to be here for everybody else. Like I really need to be here for everybody else, and like just, take it like I'll deal with myself later. I'll deal with my own stuff later. Like I need to be here for everybody else. And I don't know, it was definitely just, it definitely just put things in perspective for me, and just showed me and like opened up my mind to the fact that like, just whenever somebody that I care about is really like feeling something, I can't help but to like come in and like want to take that off of them, or just like be a shoulder to cry on. Like I have a thing for being people's strength when they're not feeling strong themselves. And then if it's something that has also affected me too, then it's like, okay, like I'll handle mine later, like I don't know. I don't know if I've always been that way. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I can't really explain that or answer that question, but yeah, so I ended up going ahead and taking that 2 weeks, which I so needed. Um and this happened, I took the 2 weeks or I accepted the 2 weeks on Friday. And for the most part of that whole weekend, from like Thursday to Sunday, I pretty much just stayed at home. And if I did go out, I was never by myself. 9 times out of 10, I was with Tori, or maybe my grandma, or somebody. Like I was never by myself. I was never alone, except for there was one time that I did go out. I went to go get food, and I remember being like, I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to go anywhere else. I just want to stay in my car, go through the drive-through, and then come home and eat and just like be in for the rest of the night. And that's exactly what I did. That was, I believe that was Saturday. That must have either been Saturday. I think so. And so I was like, all right, like, I'm staying home. I'm not doing anything, whatever, whatever. So then um, Monday came. And Monday I had, well, Sunday night I had decided that like Monday was going to be the first day that I'm like able to go out in the world and, go out by myself, and like, not depend on anybody else to like be there with me. And I took that day really well. And honestly, for the next 2 weeks that I was off, it was it was so needed. Like, and I not only needed it because in light of the situation that we all experienced at work, but I also just really needed I just needed a break. And it sucks that like that's the way that I ended up getting the break, but at the same time, like I didn't realize how much I really needed that break until I was in the middle of it, you know, like, and honestly also like towards the end of that break when I was going back to work, like it was kind of crazy to think like, oh shoot, like I'm going back to work, like I really needed that break because I've been working pretty much nonstop. I mean, the last vacation that I had properly was the one when we went to California, Vegas, and Texas, and then I came back home and I was pretty much at work most of the time. I hardly did anything, hardly went anywhere. And and then I did have like that little weekend. Well, it wasn't even a weekend, we just made it a day trip to Raleigh and then came back home in January, and then that was pretty much it. Like I'd been working so much that and I was starting, like I said it before, like I was really feeling that burnout, and I was like, okay, like I really need to like do something about this. Like I had intended for the next scheduling period when we were supposed to sign up for that schedule, I was gonna take off some time, like at least a week or so, maybe two. I didn't really know. I was like, I want to, save up my PTO so that I can, do what I need to do. But then, bam, here's this situation that occurs, and then I'm offered this paid time off, and I'm like, oh my god, okay, yeah, like let's do it. And it really did help, and you know I just didn't realize that I really needed it until, yeah, it happened. So yeah, that happened, and then um I went back to work. I went back to work on the 18th of March. And my first week went really well. Like better than I thought. Better, way better than I thought it did. Like I drove myself to work. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first started driving and I was like, getting close to the building and everything and close to the parking garage, I'm not gonna lie, I really did start to feel like a little bit panicky, and like my chest started to feel heavy, and like I was starting to get really nervous. But then, like, I was doing my little morning prayer that I do every morning on my way to work, and I was like, it's okay, like I'm not, like everything's fine, like I've got this, like God's got me, it's gonna be fine, you know. And then I made it in, I made it to work, I had a good first week, everything went well. And but it was the second week that things kind of took a slight turn. uh it was okay. It was still fine. It wasn't the worst week that I had had, but I'm not gonna lie, I had a very triggered moment at work, because of a patient that we had that was uh, getting a little irate, a little bit uh, aggressive, but not like in a way where he was actually going to hurt anyone. It was kind of scary though, and I like in that moment was I started to cry, and like I had to like step away for a sec because I was just like, oh my god, like I'm losing it. Like I hadn't reacted or been triggered like that since the whole incident happened back in February. So I was like, okay, like this kind of now I'm really seeing the effect. You know what I mean? Like I was really seeing how like I'm forever changed because of what I witnessed, what I was there for, and it's just like it just you just never know sometimes, because healing is not linear. Like we all know that. And like healing is just one of those things where it's like, okay, like I definitely like thought, and it's just like, some days you're gonna be good and some days you're gonna be like okay, and then some days you're gonna be like not so okay, and it just happens that way. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean you're not healing. It doesn't mean that you're not getting over the situation, or that you're not over the situation. It just means that, like, hey, this thing really did change me, and now I've got something that I've gotta work through like continue to work through and not let the bad days like dictate the way that I move. You know what I mean? Like, or better yet, stop me from moving. Um, so yeah, it was a little bit of a moment, but it was fine. Um, I had a lot of support. I had some coworkers there that were very, like understanding and like, just like, hey, it's okay, like you're fine, you're good, whatever, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like I am good. I'm fine. And so then, we continued on through the month of March, and it was going, but the last weekend of March was actually a really, really tough one. I was off this weekend of March, and which was nice, but the day before, this was Friday. It all started Friday. My aunt's cat had to be taken to the vet because he was just not doing too hot. He seemed very weak, and he seemed very um, just not himself. And so they took him to the vet, and the vet basically, to be quite honest with you, she was not very, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, and I really don't want to. But to make a long story short, we had a feeling that Spirit was his name, probably wouldn't make it um, very much longer. And that Saturday morning, I was asleep, and I woke up in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of the night. I woke up, and it was like literally exactly 9 in the morning, and I heard crying, and I was like, who the heck is crying? Like, why is somebody crying? So I like shot out of bed. I opened the door. I walked out. My grandma's like bawling in tears, crying. And I'm like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? And she's like, Spirit, he's gone. Like, he's gone. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're joking. Like, oh, I couldn't. I literally could not, because I was literally like, come on, man. Like, come on. This can't be. Like, it really can't be. I, but I hadn't fully like reacted or responded yet. I remember like walking to the bathroom. I went to use the bathroom, and like when I was on my way to the bathroom, like I just felt chills like run down my spine. Like, oh my god, because I remember the day before when they were like, he might not make it very much longer, and I just remember like crying my eyes out because I was like, gosh, I've already like had to deal with so much, like with the work stuff, and then like now I'm back at work, and then I had that moment at work the other last week, and now you want to hit me with like my cat, our cat might be going, like I'm not ready for this. Like, I don't even know if I can handle this. And then I also remember like being like, okay, well, like if he's not gonna make it, like why is he here? Like, why wouldn't you want to, like, you know I don't know, you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, come on, like, and then I was really nervous about, like, if he does pass and he passes here, like, just, like, seeing him and, like, not. I don't do good with, like, dead anything. I don't like seeing animals die, or even people, like, I mean, obviously nobody likes to see people die, but or anything like that, but like, it's just like, no, being in the same place at the same time as like something that is no longer breathing life anymore is like, ooh, that's rough. Like, I don't want to be around for that. Like, I don't want to see that, because I haven't gone to very many funerals in my life, but the ones that I have been to, like, people walk up and go see the body, or see the person in the casket and everything like that, like when they have an open casket. Yeah, I can't do that. Like, I can't go up there. Like, I just like my body just rejects it, and I refuse to go anywhere near it or close to it or nothing. I can't do it. So I usually like stand off in the back and like just stay where I'm at. until they're done, and then I can go and sit down and whatever. So I was like kind of feeling like the same feeling, like I don't want to see him like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I want to see him like without life anymore like that, you know? But so I had gone to the bathroom, I came out, and I was like, I knew he was downstairs with my aunt, so I was like, oh God, like maybe I should go down there. So I went down there, and she was holding him in the blanket, and like he was gone, but he kind of didn't look like he was gone. Like he almost just looked like he was sleeping. Um, and also he wasn't. This is like kind of morbid sounding, so like if you don't like whatever, trigger warning. I'm talking about his lifeless body. Okay, he was very like he wasn't stiff. He wasn't stiff at all. Like it was so weird, like to me, but like I don't know. I was very sad, but I would once again like compartmentalizing my own feelings and just, you know, being there for my aunt because this was her cat. She got him when I was 8 years old, and he's literally been around since then. And um, yeah, so and I'm 24 now, going on 25. So he had been around for a very long time, and I was so like I just like I don't know what it was, but I think that knowing that I've been here with him pretty much his entire life, um, I somehow that was very comforting to me to know that like I'd been here for his whole life, like for the most part. Like I've been around him his entire life, so I've seen him, you know, since I was 8, like be here and grow. Like I was here for his life pretty much the whole time. And I realized that like that must have been the reason why I didn't take why I took my mom's dog's death so hard, was because like I missed the last 2 years that he was there, or year and a half that he was there. um so, and that broke my heart to think that like he had been gone for that long and I hadn't seen him since he left, you know? Like the last time I saw my mom's dog was when they left, which was January 2023. And he passed away a year and a half later, and you know, last year. So it was like I missed it. I missed it, and that was hard. That was really hard. But with Spirit, it was different because I was like, you know, I've been around for Spirit's life. Pretty much his whole life, I've been around him. My aunt's been here the whole time. He's been here the whole time. So I've seen him. I watched him, you know, grow and get old and live a very, like, happy, healthy life. Like, he was a very happy cat. He was happy. He was healthy. He lived a good life, you know, and, like, knowing that, like, I was able to accept it a lot more. And also, he was old. Like, he didn't die because he was sick, although he did have sick like illnesses. He had ailments. He had like some kind of thyroid situation and like his kidneys too. But that wasn't what killed him. He was just getting old and slowing down, and he wasn't it was time, honestly. Like he was like I did the math, and since we've had him since I was 8, that was 16 years ago, basically. Roughly like 16, close to 17 years. So it was like, okay, like he lived a long life, a really long life. And I'm grateful that I even had a pet, like that we even had a pet live that long, you know what I mean? So yeah, it still was sad. And I do remember like when we buried him, like that was when it really got me, and I started to cry then. But yeah, it was, you know, he was loved, and he loved us too. So I don't know. I handled that a lot better than I did the dog. So my mommy's dog. So yeah, but and then the day after that, so Spirit passed away on Saturday. That whole thing happened. And then Sunday, um, I had like a, I don't even know. I don't even know how to even explain it, but um, someone who was a part of my life for a decent amount of time um, decided that they didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, not surprised, but also surprised. Like, on one hand, I was like, okay, well, I kind of saw this coming, but I didn't think it would be this way. I thought it would be more mutual and more of a, hey, I've been feeling this way. I was wondering if you were feeling the same way, blah, 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 blah. You know, like, let's talk about it before we just, like, make a decision. And, like, but it was like, nope. Decision made, you know, whatever, whatever. And I was like, oh, all right. And I remember being a little bit, like, I remember being a little upset, being a little bitter, being a little, like, you know, dang, okay. Like, I didn't, I, I didn't think it was gonna be this way, but okay. I mean, obviously, I can't change. You know, I can't make you do anything you don't want to do or be around me if you don't want to be around me. But you know, I thought maybe this would be a talk. Maybe we have a discussion. You know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. I don't know. But that's not what happened. And you know, sometimes you just have to. I've learned over the course of like the last 5 years that there are going to be decisions that are made that you don't like and that you and that aren't really fair to you because that's just the way people move, you know? So you just got to move with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't really want to, like, I don't know if I'm ready to, like, really fully go into details about that situation. But you know what? I will say this, you know, I have nothing but love for that person. And, you know, um, I hope that they, you know, have a, I hope they have nothing but a fruitful life. Honestly, like, there's no, I'm not gonna hold any, well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that because I feel like maybe that might not be me being completely honest. I'm not going to say that, like, I don't wish any ill will or anything like that. I, I don't know. I don't know. I had a thought, but then I kind of lost it in the middle of it. But I don't know. It is what it is. Of course, I'm going to move on with my life and, you know, not let that, you know, hold me down or anything like that. But it doesn't make it any less sad or hard or, you know, I don't know. So, yeah, that happened. And now it's April. And actually, it's almost May. Um, it's almost May. This month, March was definitely a month of like loss, like a lot of loss and a lot of change. And I don't know, I don't think it was loss in a bad way. I think it's just that like there were things in me and things that were a part of me that can't go into the next realm of life that I'm about to go into because you know, I've been sensing that there's about to be a big, like, I don't want to say big, but just, I just feel like there's going to be a big change in my life coming soon. And, you know, I just know that, like, in order for me to receive that, there are things that can't be there. when these things happen for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason is. But God, I know that God has a plan, and I know that God's way and His will, and His word is perfect, and it's better than mine. And God's plans are always better than my plans, and I may not understand exactly why He wants to do things the way He wants to do them, but that's okay. I don't need to. I don't need to understand. I just need to go along with it and accept it and know that, like, at some point maybe I will understand. Maybe I never will understand, but that's okay. Like, God does things for when God does things and when He makes decisions for my life, He does them for my good and for His glory. So it is what it is. There isn't anything that we can really do about it. But honestly, I wouldn't want to do anything about it, Who's meant to stay will, and who isn't, won't. And at some point, you just get okay with people. I don't want to say you get okay with it. I mean, it doesn't change the way you feel about it, and it doesn't change, how but you get better at it. You get better at handling things changing in your life, because your life is never going to stay the same. It's always going to be changing. Like, change is never ending. It happens all the time. But it can be handled. It can be dealt with. You can handle change. You can roll with the punches when life throws them at you. So, yeah. But now it's April, and well, almost May now, and April has been pretty good. And also I will say, okay, despite March being a very like hard, trying month, a month of loss, but also a month of healing, and also kind of healing into going into April as well. A lot of good things have happened. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I started going to the gym. Me and Tori, we go to the gym. Well, we're supposed to go Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Fridays usually don't happen for multiple reasons. Like, something always happens when it gets close to Friday, or Friday comes and we're just like, I don't know, it just be a lot. But Monday and Wednesday we end up going to the gym, and it's been fun. Like, I've never been to the gym before this. This was like my first experience with the gym, and I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I actually really like it. I like the environment. I like I don't know, I like not being at home a little bit, like when I'm working out. I mean, don't get me wrong, I worked out for a very long time at home, but I don't know. I actually really like the environment of the gym. Like, everybody's doing their thing, everybody's trying to get their gains and stuff, as Tayshawn would say. And it's cool. It's cool. We're actually going today. But we usually go at like 6:30, but I'll be a little late because I have to go pick up Tayshawn from work. So, but it's been really nice. I actually really, really love going to the gym, and I look forward to it when we go. We actually ended up taking off a whole week because it wasn't last week, it was the week before last, because one, I pulled a muscle in my back and I couldn't stand up straight to save my life. I actually ended up calling out from work because my back was so messed up. We were supposed to go to the gym on Monday, and I pulled a muscle in my back, so I wasn't able to go, and I really needed to like take some time. But then I was also supposed to go to work on Tuesday, and I did not go to work on Tuesday because when I woke up that morning, y'all, I woke up and I walked to the bathroom, and I barely made it there. But as soon as I got up, from off the toilet, and I was like trying to walk to the sink so I could like brush my teeth and do my skincare, I was hunched over exactly like this, hands on the sink, like on the counter, on the like the bathroom counter, like just like stood there because I could not stand up straight to save my life. Like my back was so messed up, it was crazy. I had to call out from work because like I could barely walk. Like it hurt so much to walk, it hurt to stand. Everything was hurting back there and it was just absolutely terrible. So, didn't go to work that day. I pretty much slept all day. My mom took my brother to work and then I felt better enough. Like I slept until like I want to say like 12 or maybe 1. I don't remember. I slept in pretty late. And I like basically was like had the heating pad on pretty much the whole time. I was like, heating my back up for like a little while and yeah, so pretty much took off the whole week that week, which I was very grateful for because I really needed my back to be like pretty much normal. Like I needed it normal again because it was not good. And yeah, my back is good now. We're back at the gym. We just had our first week back at the gym last week. And then we're going this week. So it's been pretty good. I've had a really good time with going to the gym and like, getting back into the routine of like movement and strength training and all that. I'm trying really hard to like I'm in a bulk right now. But I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I need to tweak some things with my bulk, especially mainly with eating. I feel like I need to change my eating up again because I feel like I'm not eating enough to be bulking. Although I did weigh myself the other day and I gained like 2 pounds, y'all. I gained 2 pounds in like I don't know how long it's been. I don't know. I don't weigh myself every week, but I was just really curious because I hadn't weighed myself in a while and I really wanted to know how much I weighed. So I weighed myself and I was like, oh my god, I went from 120. Oh, well, I gained some weight basically. And yeah, I'm really proud of myself. Like we've been for the most part pretty consistent. But I only work out like basically I've only been working out like 2 days a week, which is Monday and Wednesday when we go to the gym. I was supposed to be doing like mobility training and like working on my mobility and like flexibility because I don't know, I've been feeling pretty stiff lately, which is not like me because I actually am a very flexible person. I danced for 4 years, and before that, I actually like wanted to be a gymnast for a while. When I was younger, I wanted to take gymnastics, but because I was so shy, I never actually ended up taking gymnastics. So, and my family, they were very, we're not gonna force her to do something she doesn't want to do, so they didn't. And which I like, I'm grateful for, but at the same time, I'm like, I wish I would have put me in something when I was young because I didn't really get into anything until basically high school. That was when I got into dance and I got into the fine arts and everything, theater, dance, choir, and then I also did a year of color guard for a little while too, during my junior year of high school. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I did. But because I wanted to be a gymnast, I used to like teach myself to do like different tricks and stuff with my body, so it was very flexible for a hot minute. And I still am, but like I don't utilize it as much as I did before because like I don't really dance anymore, which is something I'm trying to change. And yeah, I don't know. It's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, like I really want to get back into that kind of thing. So yeah. So I was supposed to be doing like mobility training and flexibility training on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so on the days that we don't go to the gym, but also I was supposed to do abs those days too. and I haven't done abs at all. And Friday is supposed to be like a full body day, which even though we don't go to the gym, I have the stuff, or I have some stuff to do full body, but I haven't been doing it. So I've kind of been screwing my own self over. It's kind of it's on me. It's like it's not on anybody else but me. So, you know, um, but I'm planning to change that soon. I definitely need to like get my routine together so that I can start doing my mobility training and my flexibility stuff again, um, twice a week. And then I really need to get into doing full body as well. So that's the goal, to get back into the, or to do that. And I might try to make that a goal for May, um, which is actually coming up really soon. Like it's April 28th today. So yeah, we only have 2 more days and then it's May. So yeah. But um yeah. Uh that's pretty much that's pretty much everything. I just I don't know. Um I did all that and I finished folding my clothes. Look at me go. Um but I say all of that to say it's been some time, y'all. It's been some time. And I really feel like one of the things that I like want to do differently than I did last year is to fuel my creative outlets a little more. And this is one of them. So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for sticking with me. I know I've been gone for a while, but like I said before, I guess this is me officially saying I'm back. And I really do miss this. I miss filming, I miss editing, I miss mostly filming. I really do miss like filming things. And I know that like maybe I don't have the most exciting life. Maybe my life is pretty mundane for the most part, which isn't a bad thing. I don't mind the mundane. Honestly, I really want to embrace it, but I also want to embrace the things that I used to love and bringing them back into my life. And I don't know, I just feel like I want to. One thing that I guess I've learned about myself is that I feel like I am someone that shares, and I love to share. Like, I like to share, like, my life. I like to share my, and I'm not saying like I'm gonna share my entire life or anything like that. I'm just, you know, I'm 24 years old going on 25, and I feel like I have lived quite the life, honestly. Like sometimes I tend to think that like, oh, like what have you done? What have you been through? But like I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot. And um if there is anyone out there that feels like, they are um alone, or feeling like they're the only ones who've felt things, or are feeling the way that they're feeling. If I can be one person that can tell you, hey, you're not, and like I know what you're feeling, I've felt that before, like I relate, I understand, um, then I'll do that. I feel like the people that I watch are people that I not only do I feel like I understand them, but I also feel like I relate to them in some way, shape, or form. And I don't know, I guess I want to be to you what they are to me. Like somebody to relate to, somebody to look at and be like, huh, I'm really not alone. Like somebody else is feeling that, or somebody else is going through that. I am so shiny and I don't know why. Like I'm not I haven't done anything. I'm not wearing anything or anything. I'm just so shiny. Anyway, yeah. So if you watch this video, thank you, and you stayed till the end of it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I'm sorry I've been gone so long. But I hope that if you learned anything from this, I hope that you take away that, like, life doesn't stop for anybody. It really doesn't. And you can't let things that happen in your life or experiences or circumstances or where you want to be but you're not stop you from living it. So, you know, I was feeling very nervous and stressed about filming again for a little while, but I'm actually glad that I did. Because like I said, I actually do miss it. I miss filming. I miss pulling out the camera and talking, and I miss showing you guys what's going on in my life. But I want to get better at not just showing you when there's things happening, but also when there's nothing happening and it's just the same stuff over and over again with maybe a little bit of sprinkles of something going on, you know? So yeah. There it is again. That awkward smile that I do. My brother doesn't like when I do that, but I don't care. That's me. I'm an awkward little bean, and this is just me. So, if you stay till the end, comment down below something that happened to you this year. Whether it was something good or something not so great, or something that made you excited, something that scared you, something. Just tell me something. Tell me something that happened to you that you just want to share. And yeah, I hope to be back soon. Also comment down below stuff you want to see me do or talk about, film, whatever, any ideas that you guys come up with. I would love to try and make that happen. But yeah, welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're not, and thanks for sticking with me. I love you guys so much. Of course, stay happy, stay healthy, stay true to you, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!